Welcome to r/EntitledParents. In today's stories, we have a lawyer who wants to take someone's child, an EM and an EK give a dog an anxiety attack, and an EM says a stupid word on a plane and gets arrested. Here we go again. Hey guys, and I hope you're well. If you enjoy Reddit stories, don't forget to click that subscribe as you will love the rest of our content. And with that being said, let's get started. So our first story is from Ral365. Lawyer says, I'll represent your case after you give me your child. Apparently, this was a real court case that broke out a few weeks ago, but surprisingly hardly got any media attention. Once I heard about it, I thought it'd be perfect for this subreddit. It's also a pretty complicated story, so bear with me as I try to simplify it for you. EL entitled lawyer, W wife, H husband, ELD entitled lawyer's daughter, SIL son-in-law. About a month ago, EL was representing H in a divorce case in Oklahoma. At one point, EL went to visit W, who was pregnant and in jail for unrelated criminal charges, to sign a waiver saying she didn't need to appear in court for the divorce. W also had an older child living at home and had signed additional documents giving up custody of said child. That W would not be awarded visitation to her older child, and W would have to pay child support. It was also confirmed that H was not the father of W's unborn baby. After the divorce was settled, EL contacted W for further discussions regarding her upcoming baby. EL was going to represent W in an application for judicial review, as in having the Supreme Court look into it. At one point, EL offered to let ELD take care of her new baby until W was out of jail. Eventually, W gave birth to a baby boy and agreed to assign temporary guardianship to ELD and SIL. Little did she realise that ELD would go on to turn this into temporary guardianship into permanent custody right under W's nose. It started with ELD and SIL calling the baby by a different name instead of what W chose. EL later filed a petition for guardianship on behalf of ELD and SIL. A judge granted this petition and even allowed EL's family to make plans to fully adopt W's baby as their son. EL let W know about this and had even told her that they were going to keep the name they wanted because they believed he shouldn't be named after the biological father. The judge also denied EL's previous application to give W's criminal history judicial review. Meanwhile, ELD and SIL filed a separate petition without W's consent and used a different lawyer other than EL. W was devastated that she'd been deceived like this. What was supposed to be a safe haven for a child turned into a lawyer's version of Rumpelstiltskin. W filed her own petition to modify the guardianship, claiming that EL had lied to her, that she had no idea that this was going to be permanent and had no plans to give up her son for adoption whatsoever. Shortly after W was released from jail, and the judge for her case threw EL and ELD's petitions for adoption right out the window, describing it as the most dishonest, deceitful and unethical behaviour he'd seen in years. In the end, W was reunited with her baby boy, while EL was forced to resign and stripped of her licence. I'm going to read the TLDR on this one because it's a crazy one. The TLDR is, a sleazy lawyer tricked her client into signing away her rights to a newborn son so she could adopt him as her own. The client retaliated and got her baby back. Wow! How sleazy a person do you have to be to try and steal someone's child? And it's so deceitful because it's going through all the court processes with the lawyer and with lawyers and stuff. Oh my word. If I can actually find the story, I'll put it in the description below for you guys to read as well. And if someone does find it before me, chuck it in the comments for me please. Our next story is from EM Batman. EM gets mad after EK made my dog have an anxiety attack. So this happened yesterday, also on my mobile, just in case formatting goes wrong. Backstory, I recently adopted a dog. She's amazing and gorgeous, however she has strong anxiety due to her past, which I'm unsure of, but I know there was children involved. There's been no attack or biting though, and no signs that she would. She's all bark, no teeth kind of thing. Me and my partner have been working really hard with her anxiety. She'd be more reactive to random people, unnormal growling at unknown things, etc. She's not reactive to people anymore, unless they come very close, and she'd do very long growls and whimpers, and she then tried to get in my arms. Her safe space, we're calling it. But once she's there, she calmed down. People can approach no problem, then she's all over them with licks. I know this still needs work, as she still has anxiety issues and attacks, but it's a lot further than before. The event, it was a nice day here, so I thought we'd stay at the park for a bit. We get there and it's a bit more busy than normal, so we walk straight through and then around the park and then back through again so she can slowly get used to it. I find a nice quiet part in the shade way off the path as well. We're having a nice time, people walking past and she's showing signs of excitement. I was so proud. Then enter EK. She kept walking by, getting closer and closer. I say, "Hey there love, but can you please stay back? She's a lovely dog, but she gets nervous like when you get butterflies in your stomach." Said it like that so she'd understand more, being a kid in that. The EK said, "Doggy," while coming closer. I say, "Please stop there, you can see her from there nicely." And I said it more firmly. By the way, at this point Doggo is staring at something in the tree, presumably a squirrel, still happy. The EK said, "No, doggy!" Then she lunges for Doggo and grabs her. Doggo growls and comes on my lap trying to get in my arms. The EM enters. I say, "Please can you keep your child away, as Doggo is a rescue and is not dangerous, just very nervous, and that's why I've sat far away from the path and from others." The EM said, "Why bring your dog out then if no one can stroke it?" Well, I didn't get a dog so people can stroke her. Also, I live in a flat, so she needs to go to this park. Plus, we've been working to ease the anxiety, which was fine before your child came along. Next thing I sense something behind me, and it's EK coming back again. Doggo's tail couldn't be more between her legs if she tried, so I pick her up and stood up. I said, "I've asked you both to stand back. You didn't, and now I have a stressed out dog. Now I'm going to have to leave because the dog doesn't need your kid mauling it." The EM screaming, "You shouldn't have brought that dangerous dog to the park. All my daughter wanted to do was stroke her, so it's your fault if you ever bring her back. I'll call the police." So as the mum is screaming at me, the EK tries to come near me again. I say, "Back off. I'm leaving now, just give me space so I can see where I'm going." By the way, she's a medium-sized dog. I'm 5 foot, but she's a pleasure to carry. The EM said, "Don't talk to my child like that." And then I say, "Don't touch my dog like that then." I started walking off, and she's still screaming, and EK starts screaming, "I want to stroke the dog now. Mum, I want to stroke the doggy. Mummy." EM said, "Oi, just let us stroke the dog. Oi, I'm talking to you." I just walked out. Then I hear 2 builders who were sat on a bench near me shout, "Your child's a crap. Why don't you leave?" Felt better for knowing people stuck up for me, but I still felt awful. We spent the rest of the day cuddling afterwards. I just felt guilty that it's my fault and don't want the dog to feel sad because of what happened. Wow. Well, the dog isn't going to feel sad because being comforted by a great owner like yourself who's trying to deal with those issues, but it's just people outside. I don't know what it is with dogs and they feel attracted and they feel like they have the right to touch them. It's like, come on, man. What is your thoughts on this story? What would you do if an EK and an EM approached your doggo like that? Our next story is from Kesman87. EM wants family dog on plane. Mentions bomb. Non-English speaker, on mobile, bear with me on this. So I've seated a few rows behind a family of 4 and the boarding is nearly complete. Family daughter, entitled kid, is sobbing and it gets more and more audible as more people get in and on their seats. Finally, entitled mother gets hold of a flight attendant and demands her to ask captain one more time if they could have their dog in the cabin instead of the pet compartment. The flight attendant already tries to explain that their dog is too large and has to travel in separately. This provokes entitled kid to cry even louder, and the flight attendant tries to explain how it's perfectly safe for animals to travel in their designated compartment underneath the passengers. The fuss starts to attract attention, and someone close to my row announces their severe allergy to dogs to the family and the flight attendant. The EM raises their voice and demands the flight attendant to dig air luggage and dog out of the plane, as they will find another airline that allows all family members in the cabin. At this point the plane is full and doors are closed, and it seems the captain is waiting for confirmation from the crew to start rolling towards the takeoff strip. The flight attendant tries to explain how they would have to go through all the luggage to find theirs and how that would delay the flight. EM is having none of it and very clearly articulates, "You'd turn back in an instant and go through it all if there was a bomb though, wouldn't you?" All the movement and chatter stops, and the flight attendant goes very serious. "Please remain seated, we'll see what we can do." It takes less than a minute for the police to arrive and escort the family out. 10 more to get their luggage and dog, and another 5 for the flight to take off. Seeing the mad, angry husband with crying kids watch their mum in the police car was the best start to a holiday I've had in a long time. Oh, in this day and age, why would you ever mention bomb in an airport? Anywhere, in fact. Anywhere. How stupid you have to be. Oh dear. What is your thoughts on this story? Have you ever had an experience like that where someone said a stupid word in an airport or anywhere like that? I mean, come on now. I'd love to know your comments below. As always guys, I just want to say a massive thank you to your love, support that you give to these videos. It really means the world. And if you did enjoy this, don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe, and there'll be another video on your screen right now for you to enjoy. And if you do that, God bless you. Thank you very much guys. Take care now. Much love.